Definitely changed some lives for sure with your career. Yep.
That's it.
What's going on in the world today, guys? Welcome. Good morning.
What's up, everybody? How's it going?
I think we're live, Rich.
Richard, welcome, my friend.
Yeah, ready to rock.
Holding down the fort in Toronto, Canada.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's
And more.
And more. Yeah, we were just talking before we went live here. Man, you've had a hell of a career. I mean, a coach on the Mike Ferry organization. People have followed you for years and been mentored by you. You've had one heck of a legacy. We were talking about that, like your son and so many other people who you've coached over the years are just having phenomenal careers. So That's awesome.
Yeah, man, I'm pretty excited without a doubt. Let me see if we're live. It looks like we're live, boys. Let me get this shared out to, a few of our groups. We're kind of all over the place. We got Gerbic. Where are you at nowadays?
I'm always in Puerto Rico. What are you talking about nowadays?
Well, you were just in Dallas.
Oh, yeah.
You were in Florida too recently. I mean, who knows where you're at?
Yeah, no, Puerto Rico, baby. It's home base. It's a Southern Command Center. We love it. The weather's always 85.
And Mr. Duggal, where are you sitting? Where are you located at?
Right now I'm in Toronto right now.
Toronto, man. I love it up there. So
Yeah.
it was crazy, how I kind of got, building into Toronto about 4 years ago. I, ended up meeting some people through a coaching relationship, and this model is really great for, triangulation, and it really is the best personal development brokerage model, coaching model out there to drive revenue and sales together through partnership for sure. And a couple of people ended up, turning into a couple hundred. I'd like to welcome you to eXp Canada. I mean, so welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank
This
you.
is like it been a year and a half or so in progress. Shout out to your son, Michael. I met him through Mr. Gerbic. I remember Gerbic, telling me, man, you should have picked up the rest of my equity piece with the independent stuff and just kept building on what we were doing. And, eXp is a bunch of hype, and I don't know. Mike was retired.
I said that.
Right. Mike was retired for whatever. We didn't work together for 3 years. And then, I don't know, around 500 or so agents I had, and we were doing really well. Mike's like, all right, you might be onto something, kid, right?
Exactly.
And then when I got to meet your son, Gerbic was probably about right there too, around 500 or so agents when he introduced me to your son. You have created a monster with your son. It's been a pleasure, partnering with your son and being able to work with him over the last, I don't know, year and a half, maybe 2 years now.
Yeah.
And really, watching him develop, and like we were talking about before we went live, like you've built a great foundation of how to, keep him focused on income producing activities, right?
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of time vampires in real estate, and you definitely taught that kid where the money's at and the activities and how to track it and go get it. So he's definitely a hustler. And I remember him saying, man, if I could just get my dad over here, I would love it, and he's telling me I'm thinking I'm making a bad decision coming working with you guys, but I love you and Michael. I love my dad, what he's done for me, but he just don't get it yet. And then you've seen him growing, his mindset, his business. And so you're like, all right, who are these guys,
Right.
And so I got to speak with you over the phone a couple of times, and you kept looking at it. You spoke to Mr. Gerbic, obviously. And you flew into Vegas to meet us at eXpCon.
Yeah.
And, that was the first time you and I actually got to meet. And we just sat there at that bar while everybody else left, and we talked business. That's one thing. We can sell houses. Congratulations on 3,000 home sales personally and being a listing business.
That's huge.
But I got a 7-year-old, right? And we're talking about life and raising families and, what we want out of life and what we want our businesses to look like. And I just really enjoyed that time. I learned a lot from you, you being a veteran in the game, just sitting there talking to you. So, for you to fly back home and, talk to your wife and your team and say, all right, Michael made a good decision, and there's something here. And for you to jump ship with us, man, it just warms my heart because Gerbic did the same thing to me in the beginning with our initial conversations. And then for Gerbic to come back and join me and help me, being that he had taught me damn near everything I know and got me pointed in the right direction, in the right room around a lot of people. It was just validation that I made the right decision. And then it's an honor to come, get back and work with him again. And I know your son felt the same way in comparison to you, like I did, Gerbic. So who is Richard? And tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you, so maybe introduce yourself to the world here as we welcome you to the movement.
Well, at 4 years old, my dad took me to the markets in England, and I'm selling. Like I like selling. It's a natural thing for me. I watched my dad, and next thing you know, went to college, university, and I wanted to be in sales. I wanted to be in business. And real estate seemed to be the natural thing for me. It's a big item. I was selling a lot of different things. I sold vacuum cleaners. I sold encyclopedias door to door, like hardcore, like 2 mortgage payments and a cold call on a set of encyclopedias. Like it would cost them, financing and all. And then I thought, what? Somebody told me, a cousin of mine, he said, the bigger the item you sell, the more money you make. I go, ooh, what's bigger than land? So I got into real estate. And as I was doing that, practicing scripts, I work a lot on my skills, on my sales skills. And I'm so proud of my 3 children. And my daughter's also now over here at eXp. She's really enjoying it. I see her lit up. And then I have another son who's in a direct sales business as well. He has offices all over, in a different industry. But we're going to get him over here. Anyway, so what happened?
So like, I came up listening to Zig Ziglar, and I apply a lot of his principles. Like the law of reciprocity is something I use when people are like, man, like, are you trying to recruit me, or why would you help me? It's like, if you come with us, great. If not, this will help you in your business. And I'm not asking for anything in return. And I picked that up from Zig when I was younger, because I used to be like, well, if I do this for you, what am I getting out of it? And it's like, you help enough people gain and achieve what they want. You're not asking for anything in return. For some reason, God, the universe, always ends up taking care of you. I just didn't know that there was people out there still alive that really sold encyclopedias.
Yeah, that was a while ago. Yeah. So next thing you know, it's real estate, right? So when I'm in the car, I'm listening to tapes like Zig Ziglar, all these other ones, and scripts and dialogues. And the kids are in the truck. I'm driving. I have a minivan because I had 3 kids. So I'm driving, and we used to rehearse them all. And next thing you know is Michael got in the business, and he's a machine. I'm not joking. Like he was actually at university full time, taking finance at a high, like an Ivy League. Like I went to one, he went to one, Toronto, and he used to come in, prospect, go to his classes, come back, prospect more, go on an appointment. And I remember somebody here, he said, "Your kid's it's like a super kid, like a super kid." And I go, yeah. And so I'm really proud of what he's done and doing. And you've seen the results he's getting as well. And there's more to come. And but seeing him that with that kind of excitement, that vision that now he has, like this company now opens doors to more opportunities. It's like being in a room where there's one door, it's pretty good what's behind it. But now you got like 3 doors. You got 3, 4, 5 doors of opportunities. We can talk about that.
No, I love that. You're definitely changing, the trajectory of his life. A lot of people are like, man, like, how did you actually get, Gerbic under you, or how did you sponsor Gerbic? And I was like, well, we weren't working together for almost 3 years. He was retired, and Gerbic, I got some construction going on over here, but Gerbic could have really went and like, worked in any line, done anything that he wanted. Like that guy's the man, right? And I already was off to the races. And so for me, for him to trust me and us to get back together and work together, I mean, it was definitely an honor, because Gerbic has changed my life and with different milestones, right? And this is just the latest biggest one for us to work together and for me to be able to sponsor him. So I know it's a big thing for your son to be able to sponsor you, and you trust him, right? But like you said, like, yeah, you see the other kids he runs around with that do great, phenomenal, big things in real estate, but he's like, I didn't know there's a whole nother line of partnerships and value behind these guys that they're allowing them to do what they're doing. And he's like, all right, I get it. So I appreciate the trust with that. That's a, you know, I love, you know, the background, being able to sell vacuum cleaners, encyclopedias.
I know. Yeah, exactly. And then Adam, and then next thing you know, I became the worldwide speaker for that company in 140,000 agents. And
well, tell me a little bit about that. You were a Mike Ferry top coach. You became a speaker. Didn't you speak for John Cheplack yesterday on?
Exactly. Great people. So yeah, I'll start with Mike Ferry. So I was personally coached by Mike Ferry. So I used to actually call him every day. We had a call once a week. I used to call his house every day, telling him how many contacts we did. And now, yes, coaches, the coach, other coaches, and whatever. It was a real exciting time in my life. And then I became the skills coach, you know, for like when they wanted somebody to go on the stage. You know, and the son-in-law, in fact, got me on his son-in-law got me on and said, this is my hero from the audience. I go, looking around, and he got me on the stage, and I'm handling objections live. So I'm the person that does that kind of thing. And then I was kind of famous for my prospecting tapes and whatever, like my prospecting tapes where I use NLP, persuasion. And so that was a really great experience. And then I became a coach. And I did some speaking in Miami, for example, on lead follow-up. And then people wanted to follow me, see what I'm doing. And but at the same time, I was building my team. And then, you know, with my last company, they saw me on stage once in a panel, and the owner said, this is what I heard after, I want him in Germany. I go, how come I'm in Germany? I don't speak Germany. And I went to Germany, I spoke on the stage, and out of 140,000 agents, they handpicked me to go out and then talk about, you know, my business, what I do in the day, sales techniques. And then it came to the point where they flew me to Vienna, and I actually coached each owner of each country. The franchise owner of Italy, the franchise owner of Germany, Malta, all these countries. They came in, they flew me in especially this special meeting and trained them. And, you know, it's a great company. I love that company. All my best friends are there. It always will be. And yet I saw something here that, like, just, you know, that structure just wasn't possible. That's all. And I go, wow. And that's what I saw here.
So yeah, you saw your son growing, you got around the people, you came to the masterminds, you inspected what you inspected. You're like, you're probably making a just bad decision. We never heard of them here. They're not big. You're with the balloon, but you understand that, you know, people do business with you, not the brokerage, right? You understood that. But what really connected with you when you came to our masterminds, or you've been looking at it for a year and a half, you were saying no, then you, like, what was it? Where was the aha moment? What really connected?
Well, there's many reasons that a listener will find themselves being compelled to take action and join with me. It's about connection. It's about relationships. So what happened is that when I'm over to this event, I know there's certain things we'll talk about, pillars. But and I actually came back, and some of my friends, you know, said, how was it? And the first thing I told them actually was the community, the collaboration, and how helpful everybody is. Like, people are really sharing their material. You know, I went into one classroom, and this person was talking about calling FISBOs expires, role-playing, sharing all the scripts. And I'm going, wow, in this room. And it was really high level, like it was good. And I went into another room, and someone posted showing about the Instagram, but it went deep, They showed everything. I could just tell. And anyone I talked to, and everyone was so, like, I think it's that ownership feeling. Everyone feels they're an owner.
Yep.
You know, I remember going to one event, I'll just say a big convention, a real estate, and I walk in the front, and I sit down, and it was near the front. And then, you know, people going, hey, you know, that's my seat. Same thing happened there, just an example. And I was about to sit down, and no joke, it could be a one-off thing, but, you know, the person that was there said, oh, you know, I'm sitting there, let me get you a seat. And I go, wow, a stranger. So I felt the community, and I feel that there's a financial incentive too, but I think it's more than that. So that was really big for me. And the other thing that I was impressed with, which I wasn't expecting, by the way, was the level of training. Like you would pay for that training. Like I pay, I spend a lot of money on training. Anyone looks at my Facebook, I'm away about once a month, just about, at a training somewhere in the US, whether it's Tony Robbins or whatever. And I can tell you the level of training. Like Mike himself, he's built some of the best, biggest teams. He was what number were you ranking Wall Street? Right?
Yeah, number 9 in the country in the US.
Wall Street. So he's doing a program right now that's included that where he's for our group, which is all the templates, the trainings, the hiring, the systems, and it's so detailed. And he just said like, wow. So that was one of the big things. Now the other thing is that for me personally was I have a team, and I always wanted to figure out a way of ownership. How could they have ownership in the company? And I couldn't figure it out. I really did think of this many years ago. So I thought if they have ownership, it's good. We're all kind of together, and then we'll probably more chance we'll stay together, like more retention as well, and we can build something. And I couldn't. And the old model, I couldn't find a way. There is no structure, it doesn't exist. So, and I go, well, okay, it's on the shelf. And then I found this company where the team members can actually have ownership in it. Because the way I train my team, I train them in everything. They watch me on the phones, and I'm very kind of unique, I guess. I train them into be listing agents first, which is unusual. I've been interviewed by people you mentioned, and they actually say, Richard, how come you turn your agents into listing agents, not buyer agents? And how the heck do you get them to prospect, by the way? Mike asked me that last week. And so what happened is that's what I do, because I kind of want to duplicate myself. And so this gave me the opportunity to give ownership to my team, and also to spread my message beyond my city. Because right here, I'm in Toronto or whatever. Yeah, I can do a coaching call and get on the stage. But now I can really build my own community within this company where I can really help more people. And like you said, we rise by lifting others. And Zig Ziglar said, if you get what you want, you help somebody else get what they want. And I see, great people with that attitude, like even like someone, saying, I'm doing this commercial, I'm doing this, come on in. I'm doing a commercial training in my office, come on in, and watch me and we'll show you. And go, wow, that was so kind and generous. Pre-construction in our city, it's big. We had one here where somebody's actually sharing their contacts, what to say, how to write the sales page, the warnings. Don't use the builder's, sales page. Like, not only giving us strategies, but making sure we don't make mistakes. And so it's a long answer, and that's probably only the tip of the iceberg. I can keep talking.
I love what you said about collaboration, because the collaboration is unlike anything I've ever seen anywhere else. And I think the underpinning of that really is ownership, right?
Yeah.
Right? We're all owners together. And so instead of being competitors like you are everywhere else, path for them to do that.
No.
That's really cool that we get to do that here.
Yeah, really cool.
Yeah, so the personal growth side, to be able to actually grow with these people and create a next career track with them, was huge. I mean, Gerbic had to do everything in his power just to do it for one or two people. And in his career with the independent brokerage, even as big as it was doing what it was doing, for retention people and to keep his friends around him, the next generation of potential that he had seen coming up, through the rankings like myself. And he's like, man, I put a lot into this kid because I was a chip off the old block. You talking about, going around selling encyclopedias. I was in Salvation Army clothes in an 89 Buick where the windows wouldn't roll down with no AC, going around selling insurance. So come on, man. Yeah, for real, but, I ended up doing well at it and building a foundation. And then Mike kind of, took me to the next level after the 08-09 crash. And I took a year off, but that's phenomenal to be able to not do it for ourselves as team leaders, but for our agents to create more opportunity for them. Yeah. And whether they swing off the team into a partnership role in the modern team or network. And then if it don't work, things change, finances, maybe roles they don't want to do no more. For an example, we had one lady that was a top agent. She went out from the team, stayed in the network, done very well. She became pregnant. And then she said, I don't want to do all this. And I like the income that I was making, which was about net about the same amount of money on the team with less responsibilities. And so I'm going to swing back on the team and have this child, be a great mother and take care of my family and reassess. And it's all about timing, right? But you don't lose the people, right? So I love that it has that career track, and you can continuously coach them and develop them, because what Mike taught me 10 years ago is different than what he taught me 5 years ago, and there's some things that Mike had said to me probably in this last year that had less than 3 to 5 words in them, but was so profound to me. And I talked about them on some of our coaching calls, I don't know, a month or so ago, when I had a defeat, right? Because it looks like we're all winning, and we are, and it's fun, but a lot of pain comes with growth. And I asked Mike somewhere, I bounced him off of him, he sent me 3 or 4 words back, and I was like, I know that, but I had to stop and think about it through some self-reflection. And so to continuously get wisdom from the older people that you've grown with without us having to leave and go do our own stuff or chase money or ego or put our names on stuff, but stay together and drive revenue together, but continuously learn from each other is powerful, man. Like you and I have side conversations about life and your son and just team and everything, and so I love it how we can all triangulate. So that's good. The markets are changing. This is going to be an interesting year in real estate as a whole. What type of problems do you see real estate agents facing in this new economy where we're going, or where technology is going? Where do you see the industry shifting this year? What are we going to experience, or what problems do you think we're going to have?
Well, what happened is a lot of the agents thought they were good because the market was good, basically. And you take a listing and they say, well, what price do you want? Okay, let's just write it down. It's sold. What skill is involved in that? But now they want this price, as we know, because the neighbor sold for that price and they want more. And now what are you going to do? Now you have to tell them that we can't get that price. And now it's a matter of the conversation, mastering the skills. So the ones who are going to keep prospecting, they will actually get on the phone, which many didn't have to do. They got lazy. So getting on the phone, having a schedule, the basics, but definitely the skills, the presentation, knowing how to present yourself, how to present the price, how to get people to make a decision. Those people that have worked on those skills, and if you haven't, you better jump in quick. Then you're going to be winning, because this is actually the market of opportunity. I'll give you an example. Let's say somebody wants to sell the property, and you go, oh, you're selling, great. And they go, oh, it's okay, because my neighbor's daughter got a license. I'm going to give it to her because you've seen that sell, that sell, that sell. What difference does it make? Now they want to know, who are you? Why should I go with you? And so now it's a matter of you differentiating yourself. And now you got to come forward and be skillful. So I see this as an opportunity market. Because one thing I can say, and anyone can check my records, I've been doing it for 30 years. I've never had a bad year. And there's been ups and downs, even in Canada, whatever. And obviously some years I've had better than others, but I've never had a bad year because I know how to generate business. And the technology, so for me, this is my technology, this phone. I made 7 figures off this. That's all I need. And then you might say, well, if the internet goes down, then I've got this. I can knock on it.
I love that.
And now what we do is we add technology. We add all those systems, which I'm doing now. I've already began, and now I'm accelerating that. But this is a foundational skill.
Mm-hmm. No, I do. I love that. Warren Buffett says best, when it's high tide, everybody's out swimming around and splashing, and, it looks fun, right, on the beach. But when low tide hits and goes back out to the ocean, you're going to see who's skinny dipping, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And so I think that, I've been saying this the last 4 or 5 months. I've doubled my business every year that I've been in eXp, without a doubt. It has been fun. This year is definitely fun, but I've been telling all my people we're moving into a skill-based market. You're not going to see as much expansion. You're not going to see as much doubling our sales posts. We're going to grow every year that I've ever been in real estate since Gerbic got me in it. I've never experienced part of driving revenue less than 25% growth, ever.
Beautiful.
I've been up around 50% the last 4 years. So I think that's going to throttle back down, and we're going to go back to skill based. So who you partner with matters, who you work with matters, for sure. For example, I have an offer on a personal property. I'll just tell you this, and it's a large offer, and I didn't meet their offer, and they almost felt disrespected, the listing agent, and she knows her stuff. And she's like, we shouldn't even respond. And I said, okay, I know where the market's going, and maybe you should too, right? Being a luxury agent. And so they finally responded 3 or 4 days later, and we waited 3 or 4 days, and I stayed put. Now they're begging for a response, possibly a deal done, when they were arrogant just 5 days ago that they weren't going to respond to me. But you know what? They've done multiple price reductions. They're not picking up offers, and things are sitting. And so pricing strategies and being able to articulate that to your sellers and re-engage your buyers to get them motivated that we do have some leverage versus what we just had 4 months ago, 3 months ago. It is rapidly changing. And so I agree with you with all of that.
That's a great example, because it's just saying that delay is death. So what happened is delay is death.
Okay. Yeah.
Because what that means is that there's people right now, that people that came to eXp, because I've heard it, through my son, they go, oh man, I should have joined earlier. I would have been so far ahead. I heard it yesterday from someone, and he said that, oh man, I should have joined earlier. I had an opportunity. I would have been like just making money on my the revenue. I'd be already set. So
the opportunity is bigger. The opportunity is bigger now. I wish I would have joined the 1.5 years that I said no. I said no for a 1.5 years. Can I cry about the 1.5 years that I lost? Let me tell you right now. No disrespect to eXp. We have made a lot of growth, but the people that are coming into eXp now, eXp has their stuff together on the back end, onboarding, broker operations, everything. We had to pay. I know we got Brenda with onboarding. We have infrastructure built better now, but we were losing people to onboarding. We couldn't get people live. We face real problems. When I look at when people are joining now, you're pulling on a street and you can go get on a highway and fly down that thing. I was on the call with the president of Dave Kennard. We did $1 billion in revenue the first quarter of this year. When I joined, we did $500 million all year. We were walking through the woods, cutting down the tree, and we're like, hey, let's lay a rock and try to put a road here, guys. You guys have pavement. You guys have real opportunity. So the best time to join is now.
Exactly, yeah.
Hard work.
The infrastructure is already built, even in Canada right here. Because what we did, we've been doing deals, we've been transferring them, and it's such a smooth process. Because it's all ironed out. All that work's been done. So the processing, the staff's great. So we're kind of really happy, this is simple, blah, blah, everything's set up. The transaction goes through, the closing is actually very, very well done. It's very well, but in our city or in our country, it's just the beginning, isn't it? What an opportunity for us. It's just taken off. Wow. If we get on board now.
Yeah. I mean, I look at some of the people coming behind us, and I'm watching, if you're into building and expansion and, driving, sales, you've been at this a long time. You just want to keep growing, right? When you're a buyer agent, you want to be a listing agent. When you do both of those, if you want to contribute more and be more, you tend to want to be a team leader, right? And then you become a team leader. Then we own a franchise. Then you own one. Then it's how we pick up 2 or a region, right? And so, but the opportunity is here. And with no big investment, the roads have been laid. So when I watch these people coming behind us, they're not maybe in my line or competition in eXp, but we're all family because it's a single agent owned brokerage, and I'm watching how fast they grew. And I'm like, man, I smile. I'm not oh, they're taking market share. I'm worried. All of the hard work that's been done over the last, since at least I've been here and before me and everyone else, it goes to show it's a beautiful thing, and how fast people can grow if they apply themselves and they have the skill set. Or I wish, as a new agent, I have a couple of 23-year-old kids with me in other markets, and they compare themselves. Oh, my team's only 100 people. I said, you know what I was doing at 23? You know what I was doing at 28 for Mike Gerbic? You guys need to humble yourself a little bit. You guys.
Can you imagine? Somebody saying an agent, my son, for example. I saw his checks, right? I'm seeing his checks just from the revenue from the agents joining. They just said, "Oh, I heard about it from Michael," and they put that in the thing, and he shows me his check every month, and they're getting bigger and bigger. I mean, even in December, the last check, I remember seeing it, and you know, he drives a Porsche and all that. And just to give an example of his expenses, yeah, but that'll pay for all his expenses and more. Just as a check. And the good thing is, he's got that for life, and it's growing. Who knows what it is even is this month? It's exponentially growing. This is the unique system that eXp has. Because other companies, you know, well, obviously I've been around, so I've seen the opportunities where you recruit someone, you know, you get revenue, and I wasn't that interested. But the way this is done, it's almost like a mathematician built a model that is, and that's, you know, where it's like, it's like a lot of thinking behind it. And he's a Canadian, by the way. So what happened is,
he structured it for us, the agents. Like, we're all on the same ICA agreement. No one works for anyone in this model. You don't work for us. Mike don't work for me, even though I sponsored him. Like, we're all partners.
Yeah. So the thing is, I'll tell you what happened. A gentleman came to see me. I never met him before, and he goes, "Oh, you got a team, this and that, and you know, you're a coach." I go, "Come and see me." So he came to see me a couple of days ago. He's in the office here on Wednesday. Next thing you know, he said, "I have a friend that wants to come. Can we talk to him?" And actually, there's a whole bunch of us, because there's 3 more, and we like to do things together. So I got on the phone with the other gentleman last night, and he goes, "I want to see you." I go, "Great." So anyway, we're getting together on this Sunday at 12 o'clock, and I'm going to be meeting all of them. Like one's already signed the papers to join. So it's like, I don't even do anything. It kind of takes off on itself. I mean, it really is. There's no magic answer, but if there was one, this is it. All happened. One person walked in, and who knows? You know, we'll see for a good match. I'll help them one way or the other, because they could just join eXp, which they probably will, or they can join my team. Either way, almost guaranteed. So it's like it's like exponential growth. You just put a little bit. It's like a water. You put your finger down, and then it leaves a trail. It starts working on its own, automatic pilot. And I've seen that even with my son. So this is like close to home. It's not someone outside selling. He goes, "Oh, Dad," he goes, "when I saw this, I thought, is it real?" And that's when he showed it to me. I've only been here for a bit, and I'm getting these checks. You know.
No, I can remember when they started coming in.
I remember when you were showing me those.
You know, I worked my butt off and was building, and my first revenue share check was $2,400. Like 3 months in, it was like, so what? That 4th month, it was over 10,000. And then Gerbic came, you know, to Wichita or back to visit town or whatever after he retired in Puerto Rico. I said, "Dude, meet me at my house around my pool. You got to see this." And it was like $24,000. I was like, "Have you seen anything like this? Like, just keep hitting refresh, and this thing keeps growing. It's like an adult video game."
I don't know if you want to share how much you made last year off revenue, just off passive income.
It was
a lot of money anyway.
right around 6 figures residual passive income. If you want to get with me or set up a call, I can show you privately. I really don't want to get into it on a live.
Well, I already know. You already showed me.
All I know is that doesn't matter. We focus on selling houses together globally, like what we're doing in you know, Toronto, what we're doing in the other 35 markets in the US and some of the other countries I'm getting ramped up in. Everything's gonna work itself out, because none of this works if we're not selling houses, guys.
That's true.
Like I looked at, you know, my cappers and what we've been doing, you know, and I think even at like, I don't know, like 900 and some closings happened in the last 30 days that I was paid on. That's crazy to me. I thought me and Gerbic was cool doing 1,000 a year, but now it's like 1,000 a month. And that's with the ones that's uncapped. So realistically, you know, doing 2,500, 3,000 closings a month probably with our teams. And that's being conservative probably, even though that sounds big, guys. I mean, but I can show you. So the partnership, the collaboration, the financial alignment, this is really a personal growth brokerage. I mean, there's no way around it. Like, I love it. It's a coaching brokerage, and it works, right? Now, where do you see, like, we kind of talked about with the retention and where do you see that helping and how, like, that has helped, but how has the office maybe helped with the partnership or retention? I know you had an office, a brick and mortar. Some of my big teams have them. Some of my agents don't have them. They use our cloud office with,
In this model, you don't even need an office. That's a brilliant thing, because
So
it's a
yeah, so
cloud-based company. So you don't actually need an office. And people go, oh well, that's the way the world is going. Because I read that the 5 fastest growing companies, brokerages in the United States, are all cloud-based. So something's going on there. So these are the companies that are going to be left behind, and they're scared. They are scared, and they're rightfully so. So with this model, I can actually work with people online, offline, because of Zoom, the technology. We can share a lot. I can do everything online, basically, with them. And that's the opportunity. So I could actually have people now on my team a little bit further away, even that wouldn't normally got to be in the office. So it's opened up a lot of opportunities.
That's a great
these are partners. And I love that word, partnership. It's like a law firm, I'm a partner. I made partner, they're finally, after so many years, the lawyer goes home to his wife and he said, "We having champagne today, why?" "I made partner." "Well, you join eXp, you made partner."
Oh, that's a good one. That's good.
I love it. So it's about personal preference. There's 500, 700, employees in the cloud supporting us 11 hours a day, specialized departments, all the training and all that stuff in the cloud. And what we do, I have a brick and mortar in Wichita, right? Touch and go space. I'm not carrying the overhead with the front desk or a lot of the other stuff that we did before, but it's like if your agents like it and you see value and you like training, or you're definitely developing new people, then I see a value in it. But I have other, small teams. I'm talking about 5, 6, 7, 8. They love the cloud. They meet in the cloud. They run they leverage the office and they just do their own thing. So it's personal preference.
Yeah. See, what I do with my team is that I train every day. So every single day I train on listing presentation, and like you said, it's all about making sales. That's a key. What to do on the phone. They watch me on the phone, and I watch them on the phone. We actually work on the skills and how to convert, how to get listings, how to price them right, how to get.
I believe it. I believe then that 100% too. It's the experiential learning model, and the more you go to the office, especially if you're learning, thinking together, and y'all want to create together and grow. Without a doubt, you have to be in there making calls. You feed off each other's energy when you're in a slump.
Yeah.
But there's just some people that can work independently. They don't give a shit to help anyone else out. They don't want to learn no more than what they already learned. Their content life, and they just want to.
Exactly. I used to work a company here. It's the number 1 luxury company in Canada, and so I'm in there, right? And I'm going downstairs, and they have a training room in the basement, a nice one. It's like a building. So I go in there and I'm training the other agents, and I'm not getting anything for it. I just love training. So because they're wondering how I'm getting all these listings. I broke their record, by the way, in 42 years history in sales commissions. They put me on the Financial Post and all that. So the company did. So, but I love sharing. Anyway, it's in my nature. So I'm there doing it. And I had this a beautiful woman who worked for me. She was from China, like mainland China, and she had an accent, right? Because she just came, and really intelligent, educated, university educated, this and that. And she needed a job, part-time. So I had a part-time assistant. And I remember once coming upstairs, and she knew that I was training the agents, and she just turned around and she said, "You like teaching?" And I just realized then, yeah, I do. I didn't even know I was doing it. It's just natural for you and Mike. It's what we want to do. We want to build people. That's what we want to do. So now I've got a vehicle where I can express myself, like Bruce Lee said. I can express myself. I got a picture of Bruce Lee right here. And so I can actually say, this is how you do it. This is how you build a business, a team. And this is how you list 159 properties in a year. And just by prospecting, which I did last year. So what happened, I'll show you how to do it. And I light up when I see somebody learning and interested. And like you said, Cheplak yesterday, he has a special program on influence and persuasion. And they brought a great person, Pipes, in there to do it. And then they asked me to come in as the dream team. So yesterday I did one to 900 agents. And I showed them about persuasion, influence, rapport. And they're paying a lot of money because, those teams, some of them are massive, 50, 80, 100 people teams. And yet I'm teaching within eXp.
$4,000 a month to listen to that.
Yeah, exactly. And seriously, $4,000 a month. So, and I'm teaching this right here with eXp. I'm going to be, I am still doing it. So, hey, you've got access to me, right? Join my team, join our network, and also it does really matter which line, that you do join. And I'm very fortunate to be with you and Michael Gerbic. It's it's like I'm on fire.
Look, your son. When I met him, I told Gerbic, when I got introduced to, I believe it was Ray first, then it was Andy, and then they brought Michael in the picture, and then I kind of started working with him. I was like, I like this Michael kid. And I told Gerbic the first time I met him, I said he reminds me of myself. And I told Michael that. And I said, if these boys are patient enough and can hang around long enough, they don't even know what they don't know yet, but they are going to be big. And, he jumps on. What I like about him is you can't rush personal development and growth. You can't checklist your way to like.
Well said.
Because what you're wanting, you have to develop into that person. You can't checklist your way there, but you damn sure can apply, read, study, show up. And he shows up every week, asks questions, and bangs me over the head with them. And I appreciate it, man. Like, and you're on there watching me. And I even said last week on the call, like, because I have to be direct sometimes, or I have to, like, it's not always just fluff and motivation. Like, and I'm like, it's weird having your dad that I highly respect over here sitting on my shoulder here watching me, perform with his kid in a group setting. But I appreciate you trusting us. I appreciate you raising, a great family. And more importantly, being a great leader there for, your wife and your team, not just the one person, because I'm sure that coaching.
Yeah, it's a big decision. Remember, it's not just me moving over. I moved my whole family. Like, this is like my family.
Right,
my precious family. I mean, so what happened is, some people say, oh, you mean I got to go to eXp? I got to be calling people, prospecting? Not at all. Like my daughter Chanel moved over just recently, and I see her lit up. And she had so much faith. She just bought a red Porsche, brand new, just from Germany. It's all done up and all that. Like, she's really excited, right? Anyway, so next thing you know is she's getting calls from people. She's already got one person who applied, somebody else. She's only been here just a little while. People are calling and saying, what's this thing? Can you help me?
Yeah.
So she's got 3 people right now. 2 have already signed the to come in. And she's never been doing that. There's not that much time involved. Now she's going to be there to help them. I'll be there because it's part of, the family and everything. So it's not that you actually are going out and prospecting every day. If you want to do that, good for you. You'll make a lot of money doing that. This is a sales business. We're in the business of selling real estate.
Right.
But at the same time, we can align ourselves with partners and expand our network. We can help each other. And next thing you know, a check's in the mail, for 80 grand for this month or whatever. That's nice. And this is real. I've seen when I went down there and I went down to Mexico as well, as you know, and I've seen the real checks. I've seen the real money. This is real.
Yeah, I mean, you have the real skill set. You're primed for this. You definitely got to grow. And you grew a great career. You've groomed and grew great people around you. So this model is built for newer agents. This model is built for seasoned agents. It's a great equalizer. If you can do it, do it. And if you can't yet, get the skills, because once you got the skills, the world is yours. No one's telling you yes. You don't have to invest a bunch of money. Find the right people that you're like us. There's good chemistry. You enjoy working with them. Like, before we went live, you and I talked yesterday. You called me when I was in my lake house, and we just enjoy talking with each other, man. Yeah. So I appreciate you, man. And so I appreciate Gerbic. I appreciate your son. I appreciate your Ray, or whoever, all these people that got us connected together. And I'm just want to say thank you to everybody involved. How can people get a hold of you? You learn more about NLP training or what you're doing up there in Canada?
You want to go to NLP, you can look me up, RichardDuggal.com or NLPschools.com. And I'll give you my phone number. I'll just say it, 416-464-2392. And that's my real cell number.
If you ran radio ads, you got to repeat it twice. What is it?
Yeah, 416-464-2392. You can just text me now, and let's talk. And I'll tell you why I moved. And just so you know, watch this. So I have another son, Miles. And he's got a direct sales company or whatever. And this is a testament to eXp. I've been in business for so long. He's in a different business, doing really well. And I always liked the idea of him coming into the business.
Mm-hmm.
I never really pursued it in my mind, like, oh yeah, he's doing his own thing. It'd be nice if he was here. That's okay. But what eXp has in my mind now, I'm thinking, I got to get him over here. So there's something different about eXp that I would be thinking that way. Because anyone who's not here, they're missing out. I actually feel sorry, and I'll actually pass a polygraph test for people that are not eXp. When I see an agent struggling, weekend, doing deals, going on listing presentations, I mean, where's that check that home that you sold, let's say in January, or even last October, where's that money? That's why I said to an agent, where's that money now? And they're like, they're lost. I don't know where it is. You see, with this model, if you help an agent, you get rewarded for that for life. You're building an asset. And like Michael Gerbic said, is that when you have properties, income properties are great, recommended, obviously. But an income property doesn't duplicate itself. But when you get an agent, it duplicates itself. Just like this Wednesday right now, from one agent, five, I guess, no, four altogether. Because five agents. I didn't even do anything.
Yep.
It duplicates itself. It's a locomotive coming down an 18-wheeler, and you can't stop it. So it's going to take over. So people are going to come to me, I know already, and saying, "Oh man, I should have joined earlier." And I'm not going to say I told you so. I just say, let's do it now. But obviously, they'll be saying, "He told me."
I mean, it's not like it's a "I told you so" moment. Rob Flick. I got to see him early on get going and speak. And, here recently in the last year, he said the biggest team builders and money earners globally with eXp are not even with this company yet. And I'm like, what? And he's like, you don't get what this company is going to do globally and how you can work anywhere in the world and be connected and sell homes coming. And it's like, as much people are like, oh, I should have joined. Like, it is in its infant stages. Yeah. It really is. So the best time, like, it ain't like, oh, like, I told you so. It's like, hey, I'm telling you, it's okay. Start now.
Right.
Yeah. You made a great point. The homes that we sold last year, how much do they pay us each month now?
0.
Oh, wait a minute. We're not in a monthly recurring revenue model. Oh, I guess we are at eXp, right? Yeah. We're in a monthly recurring revenue model. So we can go out and earn commissions like we always do, but there's an opportunity to also have income stability. Right. And Michael's figured that out. And that's the opportunity we all have here as owners at eXp. It's exciting.
And just so you know, so my daughter went on a listing appointment. Somebody else went on one. And there's zero difference, this brand thing and all that. Zero, not even one question about it. Like it's zero. It's just, people have been brainwashed, into that thing. But actually, it's not real. It's not real at all.
I think what's brilliant is most of these brokerages out there have figured something out. They have gotten agents for free to go out there and market their brand at no cost to them. Right? But what's not happening in that equation is the agent is not branding themselves at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? I want you, Richard Duggal, to be the brand.
Right.
Right?
The neighborhood specialist, they go, that's you. Otherwise, they go, well, somebody else came who didn't even sell that property or whatever, a lower production agent, and takes all the advantage. This way, it can be you. So there's enough room for all the companies out there. Wish them all the best. But as an individual agent, you got to ask yourself, where are you going to be in 5 years, still knocking on doors, still doing that, which is fine if you enjoy it. Like I enjoy prospecting. So I only do what I enjoy now. And even that, I do when I want to do it. But now we're building wealth as you're moving along. So at the end of the day, 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now, you're getting a check every month and you're making a lot of money, you're paying all your bills, you can invest, do what you want. And you've got that for life. So you're building, not just a transactional business.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. When you're a transactional agent, you're just trading time for money, hours for dollars.
I really do feel sorry for them. Like I got friends and I actually feel sorry for them. And I mean it. I would pass a polygraph test and I go, ouch.
You know what? Business doesn't happen overnight. You know, Gerbic told me no. I said no for a year and a half. Some of my biggest partners told me I was having midlife crisis. I didn't know what I was doing. I was making huge mistakes. You know, all I do, hey, accept my invitation to come shadow me, shadow my work. Like we sell a lot of houses. We continue to drive revenue. People are like, oh, all you do is recruit. In 4 years, I've only sponsored 28 people. If I'm a recruiter, I could go out and sponsor 40, 50 a year, right? Like this is about bringing in the right people, helping our people grow and driving revenue, right? And that's it. And if we're not selling houses and outselling our competition, why would people want to partner with us? We had 144 agents join Top Agent Experts in the last 30 days. And you know how many of those I closed or brought on? Maybe one or two, because I'm getting back in the frontline game because I am leaving money on the table. And they're like, why are all these people joining? We have a lot of teams with us. We have people generating leads. We have people showing people how to prospect, build databases. We have good leadership. You know who's attracted to that? Other people that want to sell houses and want to be around a good culture and leadership. Like it's easy. So, but anyways, anything else before we go? I know we're been at
the more person becomes interested in this company, the more compelled they'll feel to take action to join eXp. With me, it's all about opportunity, growth, partnership, helping each other. We rise by lifting others. And I'm here to help. So give me a call and let's connect. Either way, I'll give you some coaching. I have a saying my grandfather told me, no one leaves my house empty-handed. So I'll always give you a gift. I'll give you some strategies. I'll give you some coaching. You'll get something from me, and there's no one who can tell you that didn't happen. I light you up at the end of our conversation, even whatever happens. I believe in strong relationships. So be comfortable, call me, and let's get on a call. Text me. I'm easy to talk to. I'm friendly. I'm funny. I'll make you laugh. Let's get on a call.
I can vouch for that.
eXp is blessed to have you. eXp Canada is blessed to have you. Welcome, man. I know this has been a year progress, longer. I know we've had you in our group working with you, ramping up. And now I'm excited that it's out and open. And I'm happy for you. I'm happy for your son. And I'm excited too, man. And it's been nice working with you over the last 4 or 5 months, and looking forward to continuously building on this. Gerbic, I appreciate you as always. You got any parting words you want to say before we hop off? Are you good?
I'm super proud of this guy. He's a legend in the industry. I mean, everybody should know his name. Super proud to have him, and you guys would be honored to be in business with him. So welcome.
All right, guys, make it a great Friday. Just do it. Later.